So I wanted to start out with an interesting question, since we called the class A Conversation with the Witch Queen that somebody posed. Much has been made out of modern witch queens these days. What are your thoughts about some of the modern witch queen cultures and the different practices that have developed in the craft surrounding current witch queens?
Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. They have no idea about what a witch queen is, how long her work is. For instance, in Alexandrian initiation, and I believe in Gardnerian initiation, it says you are now priestess and witch queen. Everybody gets that title. But it's not in reality. That is a ritual title. To become a witch queen, you have to have 3 full covenants. You have to be young and you have to be beautiful. Oh, there are some old hags of witch queens out there, and they won't let go of it. And I'm not a witch queen in reality anymore. It's just a title. I retired from being a witch queen at 28 because I had 2 children. I'd started to become aware of life, normal life, my work. As you grow older, you become a little bit corrupted by experience. Bad people come into your life, good people, wonderful things. Your youth wisdom starts to leave. The clarity of judgment leaves you. You start to analyse everything. When you're younger, you go, that's black, that's white. And that's the decision made. And usually it's because you're in contact with spirit. You have that purity. It actually says in our laws, the witch queen should be young and beautiful. She's there as a representative of the goddess. So if there's anything public to be done, you know, they bring out the beautiful witch queens. It's like the very first talk that Alex did. Everybody went to town and had this beautiful gown. And I was petrified. And Paul, one of the high priests, said to me, don't say anything, Maxine. So I didn't say anything. I sat there in all my grandeur. And somebody says, and why doesn't she say out? And Paul said, why should she? She's got dogs to bark for her. Which was right. You know, in that time, which is going out into that arena of potential aggression, it was scary, very scary. So having the witch queen to just sit there and be an icon or something, and Alex did, of course, did his showmanship. He made everybody, well, all the ladies fainted because he took this. We'd been cursed by the Scottish witches. And it was a wonderful, I mean, it was just magnificent. You couldn't put it away or even burn it. It was a work of art. And of course, Alex at the appropriate moment revealed it. And in those days, you know, curses, they weren't things that you talked about often. Women were fainting and screaming. Men were looking dangerous, or fit to run. But then that's the art of being the showman. The witch queen, that's not her job. All she has to do publicly is represent the goddess. And the goddess doesn't speak that often. Why should her representative do? So that is it. You retire early before you lose, you know, the skin, and you have to start using the anti-wrinkle cream. But they don't nowadays. And they hold on to this witch queen power. And it isn't power, it's a position of work, and it has responsibility in it. And there are so many out there that haven't got 3 full covenants, who are parading in the witch queen ego. So, no, I don't like it.
The craft has shown that it has strength and resilience in the face of adversity, persecution, and internal arguments. But what, in your opinion, is the biggest weakness in the craft that might or could be its downfall?
Ego. Ego, phantomosity, and I can't think, there's so many things, aren't there, that can bring it down. But the craft actually is actually unblemished. You can do what you like, you can be wicked, you can be bad. And the craft is a law unto itself, it's a power unto itself. Doesn't matter what we do, it's created, it is a being. And it's got so much power and it's generating it. It's just generating it within the wrong people at the moment. But the right people are there too. The right people are there. And the centre of the circle, your circle, is the most important thing in the world. Not your argument with the next coven in the next... I mean, that's another thing. You know, covens are supposed to have 3 miles between them. Yeah, there's a witch in every street nowadays. And what they don't realise, unless you're casting and you're doing your work properly, it can be destructive, it can be harmful. So people nowadays are not obeying occult rules. Occult, when I was first initiated, well actually before, it was instilled in you about, in the occult world, even with your worst enemy, you had to maintain good manners. We were all aware of our position at dinner, whether we were put beneath the salt or not. If you were put beneath the salt, then you would drink water, you wouldn't take wine or food. Good manners, and this is why it was insisted on, because you didn't have witch wars, you had grand sabbaths, and you didn't have time to have witch wars. The ego was under control because you'd nobody to be egotistical above. I do know some covens today where the control of the high priestess or the high priest is well beyond what it should be.
What measure, weight, do you feel the role of poverty or wealth may play in the priesthood? Can the poorest coven be as good as the wealthiest?
Absolutely. I mean, my first coven, when I was practicing, I lived in a bedsit. I hadn't got any weapons, but I did have a poker. I did have black Indian ink, and I could make pentacle out of a side plate and the ink. I'd use a poker for the sword or the athame. The incense would be a coal out of the fire, put the incense on that, couldn't afford the charcoal. What do I think? I think it is the inner essence of the person. I've been fortunate enough to work in very poor covens and very, very wealthy ones. And do you know the wealthy ones? They were the least extravagant. They wore the plainest robes. The poor were ever aspiring, as every witch I think should, when they enter that circle, to be as beautiful or as handsome as they possibly can be, because they're going into the sacred space. And, you know, if you were a Christian, you'd go to church on a Sunday in your best outfit. Do I think there's a difference? Not really, not in the essence of the work. When you're working with good covens, it doesn't matter whether they're rich or the poor. It doesn't detract from the reason we are initiated or want to be initiated. Actually, money can be quite a bore. I know you like being rich, but it can get in the way. Whereas you go in that circle, and you know, one of the reasons that witches weren't naked, or one of the they used to, is so that there was no class difference. The lord of the manor could be with the lowest serving men in the same circle. And it's just the same today. You know, the people that come to our soirees, they come from all walks of life. Some of them are really poor, some of them are very wealthy. Do you ask them, how much have you got in the bank before you're acceptable for initiation? Some covens, yes. Very few, thank goodness.
Was if you could pass on one piece of advice, what is the most important thing that you've learned?
Good manners. Good manners. And know when to stick stiletto in.
Oh, thank you.
The question is, how do we as Alexandrians view death, and do we celebrate anniversaries of our loved ones who have died, particularly speaking of Alexander's? Do we honour his death in some way?
He wouldn't let us not. I know that a lot of circles raise their chalice, they raise their glasses to Alex on the day he died, on the day he was born, etc., etc. He's very much part of the Alexandrian tradition today. And what was it Alex say? He'd say, you know, Maxine, I know I'm a bastard, but tip your hat and call me Mr. Bastard. So Alex, you know, he had his bad points, but he broke through so many taboos, so many rules and regulations. There's part of me that regrets that the craft has become so public, not secret anymore, because I believe that secrecy keeps it sacred, keeps it clean, keeps it pure. It isn't that way. But the people that are now involved with the craft, studying the craft, would say, thank you, Alex, thank you for what you did. But if he hadn't done it, somebody else would have done. The time was right.
Did you have any interest in witchcraft or the occult before you met Alexander's?
Yes, I did. And New Orleans was part of that. Yes, very much so. The voodoo. I don't know anything about voodoo really, but like all youngsters, I had my imagination. I was interested, but not in, I think in a childish way rather than a genuine interest. Because when I did meet Alex, I was very antsy this witch coming to tea. But I was already an initiate, I was already a practicing occultist from being about 12 years old. I was a little bit too old for myself. I was born old, and now I get more mischievous than I was when I was a child. I was frightfully good. I don't know where to go with that one. I really don't know where to go with that one.
I know there's been some mention of you being, you may not want to discuss it, I don't know, but I'm fascinated, initiate of the Egyptian mysteries as well.
Yeah. Before that, I was with John Bennett, well, all the way through until after my initiation into the craft, and worked with Gurdjieff and Subud, not with Gurdjieff the man, but with his training techniques. And then through that and through different people that came into my family's life, yes, I went through the Egyptian mysteries and I trained for it. And it, people often say, or the witches often say when I go to Egyptian rites and rituals, say, oh, and you're coming back to the craft, and they feel all jealous because they want to go to these very powerful, seemingly very powerful rituals. You know, I love it when I get home and I can go into a circle. You grow into what is right for you, and the craft was right for me. The Egyptian mysteries were grand, the initiation was an ordeal, so I wasn't complete. Well, I'm still not complete because I'm still learning. But I'm a witch first. And I wouldn't put my children through what my parents allowed me to go through, going through that initiation. I look back and I think it was abuse.